Hi, this is Phillington. Welcome back to AV Forum's coverage of the Bristol Show 2010. As you can see, the crowds are gathering for day two and we're about to go around and see what's on the stands. So we start with a look at the various speaker manufacturers showing their latest models at the show. Spendor are a well-known brand and were out in force at this year's Bristol.
The main product we're demonstrating is the new Spendor A9, which is a large three-way floor-standing loudspeaker, which complements the A5 and the A6, which are already sort of got a very high profile in the market. And that's a brand new loudspeaker. It's the first time it's actually been shown almost to anybody. Traditions of Spendor are, go back to BBC monitors and BBC, broadcast engineering requirements. And Spendor were making reference monitor loudspeakers, and that is about absolute purity and consistency of sound. So so accuracy, and that's always been the fundamental of Spendor.
The demo produced by Spendor was certainly one of the better sounds at the show, with a consistent and open soundstage along with a consistent premium price tag. Moving on, and one area that appeals to both AV fans and two-channel listeners to some extent is sub-bass playback using a subwoofer. Rel Acoustics were once again out in force at the show with their new model, the Gibraltar series. In their demo room they played the same piece of music with and without two subwoofers engaged, and opinions to the quality were certainly mixed. Of course, some speaker manufacturers and two-channel based companies seem to reject the coming together and convergence of technology and speakers, with some more forceful with their views than others. For home cinema fans, Canadian speaker manufacturer Paradigm were also present at this year's event and launching their new Sub 2 along with a full range of subwoofers for the UK. So Mark, tell us about Paradigm and especially your Sub 2, which we've just heard and had our fillings rattled with.
Yeah, it's a great sub, isn't it? It's a new sub for us in the market. It has 6 10-inch drivers, has 9,000 watt peak output on the amplifier, 4,500 watts continuous. It's capable of doing frequency response down to 7 hertz and a vibration cancelling design. In that as the drivers are the back EMF waves are coming at each other, the drivers are aligned so that there's cancellation inside, so the cabinet becomes completely vibration cancelling. We had a video that we've done, I don't know if anyone's seen it on YouTube, but if you look up the Signature Sub 2 you'll find it, where I took a martini glass and put it on a sub while it was playing at 126 dB output. And there was virtually no ripples in the water. I had to use water, I couldn't use vodka. HR was watching me at the time, so it's a very, very powerful sub, probably the loudest, the most output you'll get at the lowest frequencies.
Now, it all sounds great, and I know the sub-bass fans on the forum are now salivating at the fact that it does 9,000 peak and so on, but let's be realistic, we're in the UK, that type of volume's not necessary though, is it?
Not necessary, but it's, why would you buy a Ferrari or a Maserati? You can't use all of it at any given time, but it's nice to know that it's there.
So if that's a little bit of a stretch, and I understand that's around about £7,000 to buy, if that's a little bit of a stretch for our members, but they still want to have a listen to Paradigm stuff, tell us about the rest of the range.
Sure. Well, the other sub that came out in this line was the Signature Sub 1, which we're seeing to my left here. It has 6 8-inch drivers, 3,400 watt amplifier built into it. One of the features that both the Sub 1 and the Sub 2 share are PBK, or Perfect Bass Kit, and what that allows the user to do is take the room out of the equation when they're installing one of our subs. So you'll plug through a USB port, you plug into a microphone, the other end goes to a laptop, and what we'll do is we'll take measurements within your room and correct for any peaks and valleys. We can take it at 5 to 10 different mic placements, and we'll do a frequency sweep at each one of those placements, so you end up with what we consider to be, through our 27 years of designing speakers, to be a perfect bass response.
Looking back on previous decades for inspiration was also on show at the Steve Phillips Room, where their new speaker was based on 1970s hi-fi design with 21st century technology on board. Sadly, the looks remained very 1970s as well. Audio Vector were showing off their new speakers with a Name XDX hard drive and DAC fed through Name amps to the Audio Vector S3 speakers. The beauty of the speakers is that you buy the enclosure and then specify the drivers and crossovers to custom design the speakers to suit your room and tastes. Next, we moved on to the Tanoy room.
Okay, these are the Tanoy Definition range, which is a new range launched within the last 6 months. It's a fairly small range, a range of 3 products based on 2 floor standers and 1 bookshelf. Available in 3 different finishes, and they're very, very high gloss finish, and they all use the Tanoy dual concentric drivers throughout the range. Well, it's a very, very accurate sound, a very dynamic sound, particularly on the larger 10-inch version. It's a 10-inch dual concentric combined with a 10-inch bass for substantial dynamic range.
Although not designed for home cinema, Tanoy say there will be a centre channel definition speaker released sometime in the future. PMC have been stealing a march these past 12 months with their Pro line of speakers, and at Bristol they announced and showcased the new Fact range of speakers along with the existing lines. We'll have to say that we were impressed by the sound quality on offer from PMC, and if you get the chance you really should check out the new Fact speakers. Monitor Audio highlighted their Apex range of speakers with a stunning demo using music video material, our cameraman Alan being especially blown away with a demo running the song Hallelujah. Or it could have been that this room wrapped up his filming duties and I misheard what he said. So those were only a small selection of the many rooms showing 2-channel systems and all that goes with it. There were some scintillating demos and some not so clever demos, as you always find with a hotel room based show. And moving away from the traditional audiophile brands, Pioneer are pushing hard to break back into the speaker market after their exit from making TVs for AV use. Dom Feeney took us through the new entry-level speakers and iPod dock system.
Well, Phil, this is the first UK show that we've shown off our new 31 series speakers. You can see 2 of them here. They're available in a dark wood finish as well as a light beech. These ones are aimed at the lower end, and it's an entry-level home theatre speaker that has maybe a less reference and more of a punchy sort of party type sound about it. We've gone for quite a funky cosmetic, we've deliberately used the distressed materials, and we've got flush mounted grills on the front here which are quite attractive. They're the first speaker we've done with flush mount grills. These do pop off, and inside you do have rings that come with it, so that if you do want to have it without the grill on the front, of course you can have the ring on there, which helps the sound to diffuse a little bit better. We have got one other new thing on show here, which I don't believe AV Forum's videos have covered before, which is our new iPod dock. These are the NAS 5 speaker systems. These ones are fully iPod digital, so the MP3 data or AAC or whatever you have on there gets streamed digitally. There's no unnecessary analog to digital conversions going on in there. They're available in 4 different colours. We've got the black and the white on display here, but they're also available in red and silver, so pick the one that fits your decor really.
So we wrap up our look at the speakers at this year's Bristol 2010 show with the reference 2, and I'm with Matt. Matt, you're the designer of this speaker, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about it.
The reference 2 and the reference 1 are a brand new product that we're introducing at the show. There's quite a few interesting features of the design which makes the speaker sound how it does. If we look at this cutaway here, you can see that it's not just a wooden box. It has this special layer of rubber in the box, and that makes the box sound very dead. And that's part of what's so special about the reference 2 is that the cabinet has no sonic signature whatsoever. It's very silent, so it lets the drive units get on with doing their job. You can also see the drive unit on this has a very, very large motor, and this is part of the reason why we get such big speaker sound from such a small box. Well,
Matt, I haven't told you this before we sat down, but we've just voted you best in show for sound this year, so congratulations.
That's really great. We've put a lot of hard work into these speakers, and we're chuffed to bits that you like them, and we've had a lot of other positive feedback from people in the room, so that's really great.
And that wraps up our look at the 2-channel and hi-fi and subwoofer roundup of this year's Bristol show. Come back for our final video where we look at Blu-ray and all things AV.